Hey, Joe, we're back. We're back.
We are back.
We're back with another... Mate, honestly, I feel like I say this all the time, but is it just me or does this week feel like it's morphed into one day?
Literally. Like the week before was took so long because I literally had coronavirus and I was like, oh my God, I want to die. But this week, mate, it's gone so quick.
How are you feeling after that?
I'm 100% again. Yeah.
That's good.
But it probably took about 2 weeks though. Like it wasn't nice.
No, I can imagine, dude. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I hope I'm immune.
Same.
Wait, because they're supposed to start distributing those immunity kits or something. Not immunity kits, but to test your immunity, right? Soon for the UK.
Hopefully,
hope
because
so.
I want to get me one of them. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
know if I've got immunity.
Definitely. Well, look, man, it's been another insane week. Like, insane in terms of the moves. Look, we're going to have to just put it in a spotlight because it has been in the spotlight. The greenback, right? Dollar. That's all it's been about this week. Dollar.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I've been speaking about, but that's all that's been going on, really. What? Go on, fill us in. Where should we start?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, dollar has dictated the price action in just the entire FX market because basically it's been getting slammed because of the Fed. To be honest, that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's the Fed. They released unlimited QE.
I know.
That was when was that? Monday or Tuesday? It was one of the first 2 days. Monday.
Unlimited.
Yeah, and ever since then we've just been heading lower. Pretty much.
I know.
Jobs data didn't help, obviously, because that's going to encourage the Fed to do even more. But man, it's all about the Fed flooding the market with dollars, like we've been saying all week. And yeah.
And like, you know, what's funny? I said to you in the Telegram earlier, yesterday, was Jerome Powell. You know, obviously he came out and spoke on. Was it yesterday? It's yesterday, yeah. And as in, if you guys are just watching this, yesterday being it was on Thursday. So Jerome Powell came out and he said, like, obviously, despite that they said they're going to be doing unlimited QE, the Fed can still do more. There's still more that they can do. I was thinking, you cannot get any more dovish, but he has just got more dovish. So
I know. That's the thing.
And then since obviously those comments from him, dollar carried on selling. Some selling pressure was further seen. We broke that big psychological 100 mark for the Dixie, breached that. And I think as we posted in the Instagram, it's the worst weekly performance so far, on track for the worst weekly performance in a decade. It's huge.
Mad.
Beating. And now, this takes me on to the next point. I just wonder, okay, so obviously the dollar was obviously acting as a safe haven while the coronavirus was spreading globally. The dollar was where you wanted to put your money, right? Now, cases are rising drastically, as you've reported to the members, right? They're drastically rising. They've overtaken that I've seen of China. What happens to dollar now? What happens, do you think?
Well, that's the thing. I'm not sure because it could always revert back to traditional havens being seen as actual havens again. So maybe something like, because this is another thing we've been talking about. Gold tends to do well when liquidity is good, and now liquidity is good because of the Fed. So maybe next time things go bad, people might start piling into gold, maybe yen and Swiss,
good shouts,
the more traditional ones. But yeah, I mean, it really depends. Like, as long as the Fed can maintain decent dollar liquidity in all these markets, then I think upside for the dollar. Sure, it can get a bit of a safe haven bid, but it shouldn't be quite as much as what we did see over the last couple of weeks.
And I think obviously going forwards now, because obviously I said this in a video actually in one of my blogs. I said how we saw with China, right? The impact. Bear in mind, this is all in terms of the economic impacts that we're getting. These little snippets, they're still all well within their infancy. Now we saw what happened with China with their huge contributor to growth, which is manufacturing, the PMI. That contracted to its lowest since 2008, and that was a massive blow. Now, God knows what's going to happen to their GDP. I was seeing some Chinese investment banks are saying as low as 2.6%, which is
I know. I've seen some people thinking there might be a recession this year in China.
Wow, big.
I know,
big. Now, with that being said, what happens to obviously now dollar data, US data is going to be heavily scrutinized, right? Going forwards, all April, which we get next week, we start getting those big data points. So we could, I guess, the dollar could be in potentially some downside there if that data disappoints, right? Why would you want to keep backing dollar? keep selling.
Agreed.
You know, and I was actually looking. I'm just bringing up the Dixie chart here now because I think there is room for us to return to pre-bull run levels. Okay, so where we were trading before all of this pumping on the safe haven. I'm just bringing up the chart here now. I think it is down at around that's what I was saying to the members, just below 95 for the Dixie. So that means in theory, from where we are at the moment, just on this little pullback we're seeing, could drop another 4.5-5% for Dixie.
Yeah. Agreed. And you know that there are a couple of things that are making me worry about the US, and I mean, sort of, if you're worried about the US, you should worry a bit about the dollar as well. Because one of the key things we've seen from Trump this week is Trump doesn't like the fact that the whole of the US economy is in lockdown because of the virus. Because he knows that there's going to be a huge recession just before his election, which is going to destroy his election chances. So he's been pushing all week this idea that, I'm going to get everybody back to work really soon, which is just mental when you think of it, because like the US is now the global epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. So how can you be talking about getting people back to work when the numbers are just like spiraling out of control? Mate, it's just crazy.
He is desperate. And you know, it's funny, obviously, economic advisor yesterday, Larry Kudlow, just he's similar stance to Trump, whatever, but he as soon as that data comes out, he's like, that's not a true reflection of the economy, like his initial comments. I'm like, mate, shut up. It's faltering. There's nothing you can do about it. It's faltering. All right.
I know. There's more to come.
What's that? Sorry, more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come. There's going to be initial jobless claims next week. It's going to be terrible. NFP next week. It's going to be terrible. It's it's not looking
do you know what?
good.
I'll give it to you. Obviously, last week you did warn us. You said that this is going to be basically an NFP every week, and bloody hell, certainly has. It has had its impact. We saw that yesterday, man. Yeah. So I guess we'll keep an eye on that. That's every Thursday's release, isn't it, or Wednesday?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Every Thursday. 12:30 at the moment, every Thursday.
Yeah. And now, okay, on to our next talking point. Boris Johnson!
Oh,
what's happened
dear.
to the buffoon?
He's caught it.
No!
I know. I do feel bad for him. I don't wish that virus on anybody.
All right. You know what? I'll give you that. I don't wish it on anyone but Boris Johnson. Sorry, no.
You'd want Sajid Javid to get it.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, that's true. No, I agree. I don't wish that upon anyone. And obviously, look what happened with GBP. We were hit on that.
Yeah.
We dropped about 60 pips on that headline. And it's a delayed reaction.
Yeah, it was quite good, wasn't it? It's like, because when we stuck it on the group, for example, there was about at least 5 minutes before it really started to go. Yeah, that was a classic like trade the news moment, wasn't it? Really?
Literally classic. That was a beautiful opportunity for some pips there, and it's funny because literally, just as I said, look, if this happened to Trump, dollar would have been slammed, and you were like, yeah, and then literally a couple of minutes after, GP starts actually getting hit. So that's interesting. See what happens with him. Hopefully, he stays well and safe. As I wish everyone who gets it. Next week. What obviously you briefly touched upon, but what should we watch out for? What should everyone be aware of? Do you reckon?
Yeah, so we already spoke about all that US jobs data. That's going to be really, really important. We're going to know basically what happened to the US jobs market in March. Yep. Devastation, basically. But we've also got a few other things. So we've got a bit of central bank action, the RBA. Mm-hmm. Although I was thinking it was kind of like BOE this week. The RBA's already done everything it's going to do, if you know what I mean. Yeah. They've already cut rates to the lowest they're going to go, and they've started QE, so it'll probably be a bit boring. Mm-hmm. In terms of other things, more important US data in the form of ISM.
Nice, big one.
So it's PMIs, basically.
Very big. What do you reckon? Bad performance?
It's got to be.
It makes sense. This has got to be the start. Potential downturn in data now. See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And then obviously US jobs data. We always get CAD jobs data at the same time, or Canadian jobs data.
Wait,
so that should be bad as well,
bro. I don't know if they're still releasing data at the moment. Stat Canada, obviously the department for releasing economic data. Don't you remember they held off? They said they're not releasing data at the moment.
Oh,
do you remember?
They did. Yeah.
So,
we'll need to look into when we're going to be getting all this information then.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I guess excuse me. In terms of themes carrying forward. Still, I guess, still looking at some potential outperformance there with JPY, underperformance dollar, maybe into next week, depending on this data. GBP's been loving it. I guess we'll maybe see that continue recovery, but yeah, and gold. Keep an eye on gold, as you said there. Some potentially some upside to come.
I believe so.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well. No, good speaking again. And
yeah, good speaking, mate.
maybe we will come into contact in person soon enough.
We will. Oh, mate, it might be a couple of weeks yet, but hopefully it'll be soon.
All right, dude. Well, have a good one. Stay safe and speak soon.
You as well, boss. You as well. See you later.
See ya.